Que paso and happy Monday. Not an oxymoron, not around here. Happy Monday. Did I just say that? It is November 25th at 7:42 in the morning here in western Iowa. Salute. It's going to be a beautiful day. Here's where it's going to be a little rougher, maybe, unless you like snow. I mean, plenty of it up there in the Sierra Nevada. Winter storm warnings in Utah and Colorado, and winter weather advisories around that. Also, winter weather advisories, northern Minnesota, Wisconsin, UP of Michigan, and New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine as well. A little bit of fog in Florida and Georgia. And it's going to be snowing like crazy. Next weekend, the snow jets get turned on in the Great Lakes. So let's show that to you here with the GFS. Of course, we got to get through Thanksgiving first, and we have some very cold air spilling into the United States, northern plains, then into the Ohio Valley, and then further east, but sinking south too. So this morning we have a cold front moving through the plains, currently 27 here in western Iowa, and it feels like 13 or something. Yeah. All right, we've got a big batch of rain and turning into snow in the higher elevations here for central California. We've got rain and snow in the northwest, and here's our snow in the upper Midwest, and we can see that moving through into the Great Lakes. A little cold front forming here, moving through Ohio, Kentucky, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. Scattered rains and snows in the west. Let me show you what time it is here. So this gets us to 3Z for Tuesday. So that's late tonight. This will get us to midnight here. So cold front, showers moving east, and then rain and snow, especially California as we get into tomorrow. We see the rain in the northeast, a little bit of snow here in Maine. We're seeing more snow developing with our winter storm watches and warnings and snow advisories here for Colorado into Utah, parts of Wyoming. A little bit of light snow in Idaho and Oregon as we get later into the day tomorrow and then tomorrow night. So storms exiting in the east, and a little bit of a storm getting its act together in the Rockies. And the cold air kind of retreats back northward. I know we're going to have a little bit of a warm-up the next couple days. Not real warm, but a warm-up before it really gets cold. And then we watch this little system here turn into rain and a little bit of mix into Illinois, Indiana. This gets us into Wednesday. And so this is the busiest travel day of the year, and not a lot going on. This is kind of the only area to watch out for here. And, you know, it could be some frozen precipitation for Indiana, Illinois late Wednesday, but mostly rain when you get down into the southeast. Places like Missouri and Kentucky and western Tennessee and northern Mississippi, where my cousins are. And then that gets a little rougher, cold front forming here. We see the cold air sinking southward as we get to midnight Wednesday night. So hopefully everyone at their destination by then. And then we get into Thanksgiving morning. According to the European, we got quite a bit of snow here for Thanksgiving Day for northern Pennsylvania into New York State, even back into Ohio, Detroit, Michigan, a little bit of light snow. It's pretty heavy rain further to the south and along the front. A little bit of light snow up here, South Dakota and Montana. A little bit of Wyoming, but you see that cold air spilling southward and eastward as this low really gets wrapped up and dropping some. Let me back up a little bit and we can just see where that snow turns. So it's raining in Connecticut and then cold. It doesn't look like snow according to the European, but you know, your individual mileage may vary in reality. So we're getting into late Thanksgiving now, heading into Friday, and that cold air just spilling southward and eastward, and we're turning on the snow jets. So very strong winds blowing across the lakes, very cold air too. That 540 line well into the south. So it's just going to be lake effect snow Friday night, Saturday all day into Sunday, and a patch of snow there into Missouri and Illinois. So that's kind of the big story after Thanksgiving is going to be the lake effect snow. And some light snow here in Kentucky and West Virginia as well. So we'll be talking more about that as we go through time. Now, I've stacked the show a little bit differently. So we'll go with the 24-hour temperature change, it's much warmer today, southeast into the Midwest. Much cooler today, Northern Plains, Rockies, and a little bit cooler in the Northeast. And then we'll just go through our anomalous temperatures the next few days. So this is later today. You can see where the cold front is in the plains and warmer ahead of that. And then tomorrow, warmer ahead of that gets cooler as the cold front continues south and east. Wednesday, cool in the plains and much cooler for the Intermountain West. Then Thursday, Thanksgiving, the whole country is below average except right along the East Coast and a little bit there in Arizona, New Mexico. Otherwise, below average temperatures for Thanksgiving, much below Northern Plains. Friday, getting really cold now, Midwest into the southeast and also into the Ohio Valley. Saturday, we see that cold air heading east and some more cold into the Northern Plains. And then we switched to the GFS model because I didn't want to break my promise of a forecast through the weekend. So Sunday, here's the European Saturday, and then Sunday for the GFS actually holds on to that colder air in the center part of the country and southern part of the country, central and southern. It holds on to the cold air a little more on the GFS model. It's going to be cold for a lot of the country, Thanksgiving and beyond. Surface for today, here's your rain ahead of the front. Snow up there in the Great Lakes and rain and snow in the west. Heavy snow, Oregon, California, a little bit of Utah. Surface tomorrow, we see that heavy snow shifting into Utah and Colorado. A little bit hanging back in Oregon and California. Maybe some freezing rain, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine, a little bit of New York State as the rain along the front heads further east tomorrow. And then Wednesday, busiest travel day of the year. It is not going to be this wet all places, but a chance of rain as you see through Kentucky, Tennessee, as we showed you, back into Missouri, Arkansas, maybe getting as far east as the Virginias, more scattered, showery, maybe even thunderstorms southeast. The heaviest snow is Colorado here, maybe a little bit of light snow up in Montana, northern Idaho, and a little bit of rain and snow for the Northeast, which will really pick up on Thanksgiving Day. Highs today, warm in the Southeast, cold in the Northern Plains, some single digits up there, Minot at 9. Then tomorrow, we see cold air making a little bit further southward progress. So today we go, that's today. Okay, and then tomorrow, actually bubbling up a little bit. The warmth in the southeast, and then the southwest, cooling off in the southeast. Highs on Wednesday. Staying cold north, staying warm south, 80s in Texas on Wednesday. Thanksgiving Day, cold air moves through West Texas, so cooling off quite a bit for Lubbock, say, 52. Here in Iowa, we're going to be below freezing starting Thursday until further notice. Black Friday, cold air sinking south and east, 20s Iowa, single digits North Dakota. Saturday, again, cold air moving across the Great Lakes, 20s for highs, and it's going to be a lot of lake effect snow. Sunday, again, GFS holding on to that cold air a little further south, a little bit longer. Here's your next couple days of precipitation. Southeast through the Ohio Valley up into the northeast, the heaviest in California, falling as rain, 1.5 inches, approaching 2 inches along the central California coast. In the mountains, that's a 4-inch equivalent, which amounts to 3 to 4 feet of snow for the Sierra Nevada. Also heavy snow there in Colorado and Utah, a couple feet here possible. For Thanksgiving, here's your snow on the ground. And Iowa, we're getting skunked. That's good for travelers, so I'm all right. We'll get our snow eventually. But there you see the snow deepest in the mountains of the west, but it's starting to accumulate a little bit in the east too. You see a little bit of snow, Indiana, Ohio, but it's a little more when you go Pennsylvania into New York State, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine. Your 8 to 14 day temps, warm west, cool east. And for Alaska, warm warm east, cool west, and Hawaii just warm. And your precipitation pretty dry, except for southern Texas and the northern plains. And then there you see where your rain and snow is going to be in Alaska and Hawaii. All right, that's your forecast through Thanksgiving, through the weekend. It's going to get cold, y'all, except maybe Tucson and Phoenix. We'll keep you posted as we go, of course. Thank you for tuning in. The Weather Mike. We'll see you tomorrow.